It's Saturday, August 17th. Time to see how your forecast is shaping up as we enter the weekend. Now we're seeing some stormy weather in parts of the prairies. Sunny in Vancouver for today, but some rainfall moving into the south coast of BC a bit later this weekend. We'll get to those stories in a moment. First, let's start in the east where we have lots of rainfall on the way for Ontario and Quebec. Not a very pretty summer weekend forecast, to say the least. Now, also a threat of some severe thunderstorms along the shores of Lake Huron, where we'll have our storm hunter on the location today. Mark Robinson will be chasing down some storms here on the Weather Network. Now, look at all the unsettled conditions for our Saturday. This continues tomorrow, too, as well as we finish the weekend. And areas like Toronto might even see the heavier rainfall day of the weekend be our Sunday. And the winds will be kind of picking up. Look late on our Sunday into Monday morning. So some breezy conditions developing, that northerly wind in the mix. Through this afternoon for Ontario, there's a look at those unsettled conditions. A lot similar conditions expected overnight and into our Sunday. Meanwhile, looking at our Monday, things will start to improve. Look at that 7-day forecast, some cooler temperatures ahead into the work week. Meanwhile, for Quebec, yeah, it is quite unsettled as well. We're going to be hoping for a better weekend forecast next weekend, which kind of looks like it might be in the cards. Now, off to Atlantic Canada, some tropical cyclone statements have been issued as Hurricane Ernesto may be bringing not just rain, as you can see here, but also some very strong winds, a chance for some large waves and coastal flooding impacts for areas like Newfoundland. Now, for this afternoon, this is actually kind of the envy of many in Canada, as we have a pretty solid weekend forecast across Atlantic Canada. Going to be seeing some strong winds starting to build in once we get into our Monday time frame. Look at the evening and overnight hours as Ernesto approaches Newfoundland, and our Sunday still looking good before things start to deteriorate for the Atlantic region with Ernesto's arrival early in the week. There's our Monday look. Some of that tropical moisture already arriving for the Maritimes. Here's Western Canada for today. You can see areas like Saskatoon and a good chunk of Saskatchewan with a thunderstorm threat. But first, let's talk about some of the air quality concerns. That remains a big topic of discussion across Western Canada. Now, we'll talk more about that, but here's that storm threat that we've been talking about. And again, a good chunk of southern and central Saskatchewan included in the thunderstorm threat for today. Large hail, heavy rain, and strong wind gusts. Parts of Alberta could see some non-severe thunderstorm activity. So here's a look at some of the action we're getting. Could be lingering into the evening hours as well before we see some continued unsettled weather into our Sunday. Meanwhile, for British Columbia, southern areas are looking at a chance of some thunderstorm activity as well, non-severe in nature. There's a look at some of that scattered activity. And there's the arrival of a low that's going to be bringing quite a bit of moisture late Saturday, well through our Sunday. So that's going to be a story there. And here's some of the rainfall that we expect. But before we get there, it's looking like our Saturday bringing some sunny skies to many in the province.